welcome to my channel. I'm Chantal, and if you're new to my content, I mostly share about natural hair, specifically just my experience having type 4 hair. Lately, I've been really focusing on length retention, and I wanted to jump back into the YouTube space to start sharing again. Keep watching this video if you want to learn how I was able to retain length over the past couple of years and see these results. So let's get into it. How I was able to retain length. The moment that I really started to see changes, and when I really sat down with myself and decided that I wanted to focus on retaining length, was around 2020. And I remember this vividly because we were in the pandemic, and I remember even like sitting down with myself and writing a list. And it wasn't even a list about hair, it was like a list of goals and the list of things that I wanted to do and accomplish. And one of the things that I wrote on the list was related to hair, that I wanted to see my hair retain a lot of length. I wanted to see inches. From there, I kind of started to formulate a strategy. I started to do research, how much length I could realistically retain. So I went onto Google and I searched up how much does our hair grow in a month, and on average I'm pretty sure it's like between half an inch to a full inch, depending on like the person, their genetics, lifestyle, all that stuff. So I figured, okay, let's be modest and say I can retain half an inch a month. So in a year I can aim to retain 6 inches of hair if I'm like really diligent and really good. Just taking it month by month was basically how I approached it. After I got clear on that, I knew I needed to figure out a strategy and what kind of hairstyles I was going to be using to help my hair to retain these inches, because my hair is very delicate. Like my ends will snap off if I look at them the wrong way. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna start using braiding hair. I'm gonna like do my hair in different protective styles, do extensions, whatever I can, basically to just like keep my hair and my ends protected. I decided to do crochet passion twists. Once I had that down, I just went through the process of like installing the protective style, wearing it for like 2 to 3 weeks, 3 weeks pushing it, but at least 2 weeks, taking it down, washing my hair, doing my deep conditioning, making sure that I was also like detangling my hair in between, and I always made sure to dust my ends. So I want to pause there and just talk about the hair care that goes into that in-between time after taking down the protective style and before reinstalling the protective style. That time was very crucial because it allowed me to interact with my natural hair and to see what was really going on with it. I was always making sure to check on my ends to see like if I am getting a lot of single strand knots and what I could do to minimize those. And I always made sure to dust my ends. Nothing major, but literally just taking like a small amount off the ends. I would always twist it first, and then at the end of the twist I would just like take a pinch of hair off. Anything that looked like it was really scraggly or that was just like ready to break, I would just like take it out of its misery basically and just snip it off. And that kept my hair at an even length as it was retaining the length. I wasn't really noticing that kind of like jagged sort of scraggly look that I used to have when I wasn't paying such close attention to how I was taking care of my ends. So detangling is also really important. I detangled my hair between every break. So whenever I would take down the protective style, I would use my wide tooth comb and just comb through each section lightly to take out the shed hair, to take out, you know, any hair that just didn't want to be on my head anymore. And that was really important because my hair essentially didn't have a lot of opportunities to get tangled or to knot into itself, because my type of hair tends to love to knot into itself if it's not well detangled. Immediately after detangling it, it would go right back into the protective style, into those twists. It stayed relatively detangled throughout the entire cycle of putting the protective style in, to taking it down to putting it back in. My hair also shrinks a lot. Like, my hair is very, very stretched right now, but when it's wet, it shrinks a lot. And when my hair shrinks, that's when it tends to knot the most and break the most. If you're someone who has hair that shrinks a lot, if you experience extreme shrinkage, you may want to try wearing your hair in more stretched hairstyles because it gives your hair less opportunity to break. You just have to really know like what the goal is for you. I think that's what the most important thing is in a length retention journey, is just like making the decision and sticking to it. This is a very personal process. Like, I'm sharing the tips that worked for me, but this is a very personal process because you also have to consider your lifestyle, how much time you have to dedicate to your hair. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but if you do put in the time, you will most likely see the results. And honestly, this whole 2-year time period of me just trying to retain length has been really great, and I never thought that I would be able to like grow my hair to the length that it's at now, but I did it, and I'm really proud of that, and I can't wait to see how it goes this year. I'm hoping to take it a little bit further, make some changes, and see what happens. But I just wanted to come on here and share some of these tips with you all, make it kind of like an adventure or an experiment, and just like make it like a special thing that you're doing for yourself. That's kind of what I did, and it brought me a lot of like joy and accomplishment to know that like I did this by myself. Like, I figured this out, and it feels so good. So I don't know, it's just, it makes me emotional sometimes because I feel like as Black women, like especially like when your hair is really kinky, you're kind of in the dark, and you're kind of just like following what other people are doing a lot of the time. And I definitely have been that way at times in my hair journey, just like following what everyone else is doing and trying to achieve the same results as someone who has a totally different hair type that I have. But getting to a stage where I could just step back and be like, no, wait, let me do this my way. Let me try to just figure this out by myself. Just do it for yourself. Do it on your own time. And I don't even know. Like, I'm kind of like lost for words, like to try to describe the feeling of just going your whole life being told that your hair isn't gonna grow, and then your hair grows and you're like, excuse me? Who? My hair grew. So anyway, I'm getting carried away. I digress. So I think I'm gonna end the video right here, and I'll leave the links to my social media below as well if you want to follow me and keep up with my journey on there. I just want to say thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.